All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Gentleman's Bureau. Been a long time. We've missed you.
Talked to your brother the other day, Mark.
Oh,
was-
wonderful.
Actually,
I
last
also
night
talked to your brother the other day.
he gave me a call.
I think you got a PS5.
I think you're right. And he got a new job, so that's cool.
Oh, cool. I didn't know he was
Did get a
looking
new
for
job.
something. Cool. Cool.
Yeah, I guess he drives by his other work, so that's cool. Or it's like by his other work, so he can I don't know, drive by and flip him off, and be like,
He would too.
yeah,
Hey,
he
it
would.
really sucks for you guys.
Yeah, he sure would. But I guess he's doing what is it, landscaping stuff. He's making more money, so that's important. He's got
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of vacation time paid for and shit. I told him he should go landscape his old his old place of business. They all walk out on break. What the fuck are you doing here?
Just
It was
taking
a
care of the yard. What up?
Yeah.
My
You.
job?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Word.
Heck, I'm closing in on 60 days at my new job. Going real good. Like it a lot.
Oh fuck!
Couple
I
of
totally
workers.
forgot. I got a promotion in a
Oh,
different position, so I forgot to even talk about that.
are you now chief executive butt sitter?
Yeah, I'm a data protection representative for our company. So yeah,
So you're securing the cyber space?
a little bit. Yeah, basically something like that. I don't want to get into it. We got government contracts, and I signed an NDA and a bunch of shit. So basically, I'm a spy.
Yeah. See, Lane talks smack on the government, and then he turns around and he's working right with them.
Well, maybe
Well, they pay
have you
good.
ever thought? Have you ever thought, in order to beat them, you got to join them?
Oh, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'll give you that.
They do say that.
I've
They
heard
do.
those words.
That's been said somewhere, plenty of times.
Oh, it was said by that one guy that one time who did that thing. Him.
Right at the one place,
Mm-hmm.
or no?
Yeah,
no,
during that one period of those things going on.
No, it wasn't that period. It was another period.
And then they made a movie about it.
But it was the same spot though.
This is that movie, dude. Have you
This
remember
is that
fucking Tropic Thunder? Where it's like two got a business deal, one wrote a book or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Dude, that's it's such a good movie actually.
It's underrated. Surprised we haven't done a movie night on that one.
We should do a movie night on Tropic Thunder.
We could do a movie night on Tropic Thunder
Right now?
after the podcast.
Maybe.
I got time.
All right.
Mark, you know what, Mark? With your fucking, I gotta live
I'm
during
sorry.
the day.
You have all day.
Have all day.
Yeah,
I'm
what
sure
the
you
fuck?
have other things planned for today, but you have all day. We have until we fall asleep.
Yeah, Jed and I are like, we'll sacrifice a night for a fucking film. Mark,
I don't think the question is does Mark have time? I think the better question is will Lane stay awake the whole time?
Oh
Okay.
my God, yes.
That's fair. All right,
This
just for our viewers. We decided we started to record. We were watching The King's Man. We started to record it. We kept getting commercials, ads. It kept getting chopped up. We had to backtrack, figure out our place. So we just said, fuck it. We stopped recording. And I don't know. I guess I fell asleep. I don't know. Did you guys hear me snoring or sleeping?
No, it was like we just kept talking, and then eventually we were like something would
Lane?
happen. We like kick it off to you, like, hey, what do you think of that, Lane? And silence.
Yeah, I was fucking tired, dude. I was out.
And then as soon as it was like you're like, I'm gonna take this to the bed, and I was like,
He's done.
that's a bad idea. And sure enough, like 20 minutes later, Lane.
That was a good movie, though. I watched it the next day.
It was.
You know,
it
we
was
were
a
just
really
shouting
great
stuff
movie.
at you.
Yeah,
Didn't
it
wake
was
up.
a good movie. Like, definitely recommend watching it if you haven't seen it.
I don't think anybody knows what movie we're talking about, though.
Yeah, I just said The Kingsman.
Yeah, it's
The
the
King's
newest one.
Man.
The King's Man. Got
The
a little
King's
Baba
Man.
Rasputin.
The man that is the king. Yeah, they didn't fucking do that, and I'm kind of fucking pissed.
I know. They had the
That
perfect
could've-
opportunity for it.
They had the perfect opportunity, and what did they do? They went with like it was a well-known song, right? They
Yeah.
played like pretty like well-known. I'm pretty sure it was like Queen or some shit, right? Something
Might
like
have
that. Bohemian Rhapsody. Was that what it was?
It
I'm
might
not
have
sure.
been Bohemian Rhapsody.
No, I don't think. Well,
I don't know. But yeah, it wasn't.
either way.
It wasn't as good as it could have been because of that.
Yep. Yeah.
The only thing that brought the movie down for me, honestly, was that one thing.
And like, here's the thing: like, if I'm like the guy who has to go get that, like, if I have to go find, all right, what kind of music are we going to use for the movie? Number one, looking at it at a financial standpoint, you're going to save money over whatever song they chose. Guarantee it. They could have had like a good settlement, like, hey, we're going to use your song. Is that cool? And they would have said, yeah, fuck yeah, that's cool. And instead they were like, let's go with a high dollar, um, well-known tune.
Yeah.
Which I get it. It's well known. They want people to understand, like, to hear like stuff that they know. But that song's catchy, man. Rasputin.
And it fits the,
Yeah,
plot
totally.
and everything. It would probably give, like, TikTok gave a big, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Like,
publicity
revival.
to it. Right.
Yeah. A big revival of a whole bunch of older music, right? And putting that song into that movie would probably give it another big revival.
Yeah, it makes me think that like the producers are just old or something. They're not like hip in tune with what's like, you know what I mean? Going
Probably.
down on the digitals.
Yeah. A lot of, like, Hollywood in general is stuck in, like, periods of time, probably. Like, they can do a movie and they can do music and things like that the way that they want to, or like the way that they see the best for them, but then at the same time, like, changing that or making a movie that's skewed and right or left of their usual opinion. They just fall apart, maybe. I think that's the case a lot of the time, but I could be wrong. Maybe I'm not a big old Hollywood producer, so who knows? Jed, you're muted.
Jed, you're muted.
You're muted, dude. I love it.
That's right. Totally forgot about that. But yeah, no, I'm definitely not a big time Hollywood producer either. But
Yeah, we know.
I mean, the song. Okay, so obviously, we think that it would have been better with the Rasputin song, but how well did the song that they used fit?
Honestly, I'd have to I'd have to like listen to it again and watch it again. But I just know that I think I was too focused on like, really, you're not gonna play that. Yeah.
I think if you actually just watched it and like just tried to appreciate it for exactly what it was, not what it could have been, it's probably just fine. It probably works. It might even be good. But I think it's just because we have such a an idea of what would be better in our heads. That's why like books to movies never pan out, because whatever they do on screen can't possibly transcend what you came up with in your infinite imagination as you read the damn book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I know it's an older song. So let's say there's a new Iron Man movie that comes out, and Ozzy Osbourne a few months ago. I know it's an older song, but let's just say he released Iron Man. Okay, that's what's trending, right? Like Rasputin was trending, even though that was an older song. But let's just say, would you not fucking put that in the film? You got a fucking movie about Rasputin. You got the kids on social media going crazy over this song, bitches dancing, shaking their asses to it, and you're not gonna throw it in the fucking. You're just not gonna do it. That's what drives me nuts about it. Is like, come on, dude. You know what I
It's a
mean?
super missed opportunity. Yeah.
Super missed.
There might be a reason. What if I can't remember exactly how that song goes, like word for word, but I do got a general vibe. But is there a way it could have like broken its TV rating?
No.
No, because he already had made some very lewd comments about how he doesn't make decisions unless his stomach's full and his balls are empty or something.
Exactly.
That's true.
So
That's true.
just saying that he was
Bingo.
the lover of the Russian queen doesn't,
And don't forget Russia's greatest love machine. Can't forget that.
Well,
Yeah,
okay. I'm pretty sure it was rated R though. The Kingsman. I'm pretty
Maybe.
sure it was.
yeah. I
Maybe.
don't know. I don't know. But yeah, they should have put it in.
Fucking gas. Everyone's
maybe
bitching
enough
about it.
gas to like clean your tools, right? About it.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know that. Like I was waiting for a while for people to for it to hit everybody. Like just everything
Yeah.
that's going on economically, and I hadn't seen it, and I was like, okay, all right. Then like all of a sudden last week, everybody comes in. What the fuck? I can't even go to work. I'm like, oh, it sucks, dude. Fuck, it's crazy. They're, like bitching about the prices of gas, and I'm like, fuck, man. Guess it is hidden.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people freaking out about gas prices in America, and here it's like, ooh, I don't like. I'm paying 100 and what was it yesterday? Like 185 yen, so like a buck 80 a liter, buck 85 a liter, something like that.
Yeah, a lot of people
Oof. Shitty.
their own explanation as to what's going on and shit. They're like, wow. Like I've heard it from some people that are like, oh, it's these fucking oil companies. They're hiking the rates because they didn't make enough money in 2020. And then I got people saying like, well, if you think about it, the Keystone Pipeline, and then what doesn't make sense is the narrative going around of, oh, it's because of what's going on in Russia. We only got 3% of Russia's oil. And then you've also got this narrative of, well, China's in lockdown right now and they're not using as much. And I'm like, okay, so the supply's up, but the demand's down. You know what I mean? Like there's too many factors, but like they're hiding behind whatever it is, the prices, I can say 100% are they're cloaking it behind what's going on in Ukraine. Because what's going on in Ukraine is not the prices were rising before then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for
So-
sure. Well, not here, but
I think it's probably a mix, man. I think that it's probably, they shut down the Keystone Pipeline because they didn't make a lot of money when it was active. and now they're raising prices because they're still not making as much money as they want to make, and it's just easy and convenient to blame things on Ukraine. So why not? But yeah, I also just, I mean, I think we might have touched on it a couple weeks ago, but like I was telling my mom today, Joe Biden literally talked about fixing like 2 problems that he created during his State of the Union address. He's like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna drive down the price of insulin." That was like the first thing that you did when you got in office was raise the price of insulin. So that's weird. You created a problem and then solved it. Good for you. And then the other thing he's like, "Oh, I've worked with other world leaders to uh um free free up like 160,000 barrels of oil from stockpiles around the world." It's like, first of all, you had 160,000 barrels of oil just stockpiled. How much
we
do
have
we have
reserve.
stockpiled around the world? You know, how much are you holding back? Is my question. But then it's like, oh, so you shut down the Keystone Pipeline, which made us oil independent, and now that we're seeing gas prices go crazy, you're like, oh, let's release some oil from stockpiles. I found a solution. Yeah, I'm the good guy
Okay.
again. It's like,
Um,
how much of this is controlled by the fucking politicians? You know?
right. Couple things. So the Trump filled up all of our reserves. Well, before he left office, those reserves, they might still be full. I don't know. We might be dipping into them, but I know that they were full and he filled them. Um, and the Keystone Pipeline that wasn't even started yet. So, um, like yeah, he shut it down. Biden shut it down, but I don't think we were extracting any oil at all from that yet. So,
I'm pretty sure we'd already gotten like an oil spill from it. But let
I don't
me
know about that.
do a quick Google.
yeah,
Yeah, Google that. But I I did know that Trump was making it easier to drill oil, right? And there was plants and facilities and rigs that were drilling oil, pumping oil out of the ground. Using things like fracking and everything. And then
yeah,
a lot of
and
those got shut down.
yeah, and I get the issue with fracking with the oil spills and stuff. Jordan Peterson was talking about how that is like very incremental compared to um, other means of energy and stuff. And basically, my stance on it is energy independence should be a top priority. That's a national security situation. Is
What you don't
making
you don't
sure
think
we have.
you don't think it's appropriate that we work with a dictator down in South America to get oil from them? You don't think we should be going to Iran where they say "Death to America" and chant it in the streets, and then try to cut a deal where we can get more oil from them? Oh my God, Lane, you're starting
What
to
do you mean?
sound logical.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's there's something to be said, but I know I get what they're doing. I get like they come at it from a stance of like, well, we need to not rely on fossil fuels and like the carbon emissions and all this shit. But then like you can't just stop on a dime. And that's what they try to do. You have to roll it out. You can do both of those things simultaneously. You can't roll it out on a whim all by itself and expect the average citizen to buy electric cars, which if you want to get into, you know, the carbon emissions and the lithium mines from fucking EVs, you really don't have a clue what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
You really don't. And they think that the average person is gonna just go buy a Tesla. It's like, I get it. Elon Musk is gonna work on prices for the average person. Awesome. That's fucking terrific. But right now, you cannot just do that. You can't just flat out, okay, we're gonna stop all this production and everybody just we're gonna rely on you know electric vehicles and shit. It's like
Word.
you gotta roll it out. You can do both simultaneously, and so I think that's a major fucking flaw on the part of this administration.
I mean, the big thing that everybody keeps on talking about is how Elon Musk is like, hey, we need to drill more oil. We need to like really get ahead of the game right now because it's getting really bad, really fast. Uh, and he's the guy that like he's the electric car guy, and he's like,
Exactly.
no, drill oil.
He would make money.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he would make money from it all, but he's not. He's choosing to, set aside his uh potential fortunes for the betterment of America, and that's very telling. Also, I saw that he challenged Putin. Did you guys see that? He like challenged Putin to a one-on-one. He like tweeted that shit.
He tweeted to the Kremlin. That was so fucking funny. And then
I'll put that tweet on screen. But yeah, no, dude, he's hilarious. His Twitter game is great. I will amend your one statement though. He doesn't really care about the betterment of America. Like America's where he is, so he's doing what he can for America. But I think he cares more about like the betterment of mankind. You know, he doesn't want to get to Mars for America. He wants to get to Mars for humans. You know,
Yeah,
he
I
wants to
agree.
successful for all of us, which is really cool. And yeah, you know, I was trying to tell my dad about this. I told my dad the other day about his self-landing rocket. He was like, "That's crazy, man. That's amazing." And I was like, "Yeah, welcome to the future." He's like, "Wait, they land on a boat?" And I was like, "Well, not anymore. They got a lot of funding now, so they just made him stationary because it's faster and they can do two at once." But yeah, they can land on a fucking boat in the middle of the ocean. Just land on it. He's like, "Wow." I was like, "Yeah, man, robots." He's like, "Robots are gonna take over the world." And I'm like, "You're probably right, but until then, it'll be cool." But no, and it was cool. I just like seeing anything he does. Elon Musk always has crazy freaking ideas.
Yeah.
He's like constantly flying by the seat of his pants, which is something I can really identify with.
A lot of college kids can. Or people that have been through college. And be like, oh yeah, that's just a thing.
Oh, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I got to do it. Okay, let's figure it out.
Yep, definitely identifiable through that. And then at the same time, like just his like personal life, it's pretty cool. Like he had a wife and kids, right? And then did he get divorced from her? Or did she like I can't put up with this autistic dude anymore? And then left him, and then he goes for this DJ girl from I don't have no idea where she's from actually. I think she was from South America, Grimes or something like that. And she's a baller. They had two kids with names like X-27, Darkwing Duck or something. I don't know, weird ass names. He's got a really baller personal life too. Did you see he was living in Texas in like this like Tesla tiny home kind of fucking thing?
Yeah, his home is like.
I didn't catch any of that, Lane. What?
Yeah, I see. My mic is just being weird. His home is $50,000. That's the worth of his home. I know that. So yeah, it's like a tiny home. So it's like that's my idol, dude. Fucking what can you say about that guy that you're like, yeah, fucking piece of shit? Not a lot. I'd like to hear it.
He was mediocre on Saturday Night Live, but all of Saturday Night Live is mediocre now. So
What if he did it on purpose? Because fuck Saturday Night Live. It used to be funny, and now it's just political as fuck.
respect, respect. That's awesome. Oh, whenever he called out, uh, some politician was like, Elon Musk has enough money to feed the world or some bullshit, and he's like, I'll give like $1 billion if you can tell me how you're gonna feed the world.
Yeah.
It was baller.
Baller, dude. Baller.
You think Einstein was like that whenever he was out, sticking his tongue out with his afro, fucking around with people?
I don't know, but I was thinking like a couple weeks ago that certain people in history are like God sent to advance civilization and shit. You know what I mean? Like Albert Einstein and Elon Musk. It's like they're doing shit that is so like he is like almost like Jed said, or maybe you did, Mark, autistically like driven to like get shit done in some fashion. You know, it's like he's working on this, he's doing that, he's still hanging out with his kids, his wife, and like how do you find the time to do it all? Somehow he does, and um he can relate to the in a sense he can relate to the average person, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And then pretty sure didn't Albert Einstein say something after he made like the atomic bomb? He was like if I knew this was going to be what it was, I wouldn't have started it or whatever, or what it was used for. I forget. He said something like that. So he obviously gave a shit too, you know.
Yeah, I think he said something along the lines of um, like this should never have been invented or something. But he also didn't have much in the handling of the atomic bomb or inventing it. He just did very minor work. But they needed his like superstar science guy write off to like get other people on board to make the atomic bomb, and they really didn't trust him at all with a lot of the knowledge of it and stuff. Messed up. It's weird how history works sometimes, where it's like you need that person's name, but you don't need them actually. All right. Speaking of like people's names, history, and shit that's going on in the world, did you guys see that huge? I want to say it's like a soccer stadium, but I could be wrong. It's just like some sort of stadium in Moscow. They celebrated the 8 years of annexing Crimea from Ukraine, right? And there was some stuff about like not really didn't talk about how the war's going or like progress or anything, but he's talking about like we beat back those drug using Nazi Ukrainians and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, is there now?
One more time, Lane. Your mic cut out.
Fuck. All right, can you hear me now? This thing's being. I gotta
Yeah.
check the cables, but um, I heard there was a lot of Nazis in Ukraine. Is that true? Like legit?
There's a battalion, I think, that has something to do with um, Nazi ideology or something like that. It's really weird. I think there really is Nazis in Ukraine, but it's not like they've infiltrated the government and they're all Nazi drug using psychopaths and all anything like that. I think there's like some sort of pseudo battalion that is part of their military but not funded by them in some way or something like that. I could be wrong exactly how it works, but it had something to do with that, which was, um, you know, Nazi related.
Okay.
Hold on a second. Just 1 second. I am so sorry that while I was looking about Elon Musk, you guys somehow got to Nazis without me realizing.
Yeah.
How the fuck did we get to Nazis?
Oh, okay. So check this out. There's this war going on in Ukraine.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, and Russia they held this giant fucking celebration thing. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of like Hitler whenever he would do his big speeches because Putin like comes out on the stage and he's like doing these speeches to everybody in the crowd and they're like, yeah, cheering him on, like waving the flags and everything. It's really fucking weird and scary. Uh, but he's like, we're beating back those like Nazis, Ukrainians, and everything. And Lane was pointing out the fact that there actually is Nazis in Ukraine. And what it is, it's like the Azov or something battalion that's part of their military. But I don't know much about it, and there's really not much to find out about it. But from what I've heard and what I think, like putting a little bit of stuff together, it's a it's a part of their military, like a special battalion, but it's not like entirely funded by them, and they're kind of on their own. Like they control themselves and they fund themselves or something like that. It's really weird. Um, it makes no sense. I don't know what to say about it.
Could
It's
it just be like a militant group that the government was like, "Hey, we need your help. You're hired."
it might even be that. Like it might be like some what's the word I'm looking for? Like
Mercenaries, militia.
militia. That would be it. Yeah, I think it might be something like a militia. It's kind of what it sounds like too. They're
Interesting.
willing to fight on your behalf. Like, how much are you willing to like look into what they're doing? You know what I mean? Especially if you don't have like a very strong army, because they've been around for a long time. This isn't like new or anything. It's just like 2000 what like 14 whenever they were invaded. Like they've been fighting those people, or those people have been fighting the Russians. You know, so
Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, imagine that though. Imagine if it like comes out in like 20 years time that this whole time we were all cheering on Ukraine, they actually ended up all being like an actual Nazi state, and Vladimir Putin was actually on the right side of history for once, and everybody thought he was against it.
well, if he
Imagine that.
wins,
Imagine that twist and turn.
if
Well,
he
that's
loses,
the
he'll be wrong. If he wins, he'll be right. You know what I mean?
winner writes history, so we could just say whatever narrative we want, like we've done in the past.
Yeah.
What's that guy, Dan Carlin with Hardcore History? Have you ever listened to that guy talk
Yeah.
about like the different uh, points of view in history and shit? Like,
Yep.
and that's what I get into with, and I guess I'll get into it with people just because I'm like, okay, you believe this, but um, you know, who like the winner writes history? How do you feel about that? And then they always go to like historiography, like the method of making sure that history is written properly. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, like who's in charge of that? You know what I mean? Like, where are they getting their information? Is there information suppressed? Are there books? Are there material that the government seized that you're not seeing? You know what I mean? So there's several. Like, we don't really know what the fuck has ever really gone on. We can safely assume that the government's telling us the truth, but has that been the case? And I don't know, some of the stuff that we found in CIA documents and recently published releases. Like, I don't know, they're being very shady, and they also, when there's distrust within, the citizens, they're often reluctant to release said information. They extend the CIA documents for further withholdings from the citizens for another later date.
Hmm.
So
I mean,
I don't
how
know.
long did it take to come to light how many Russian scientists we recruited from the Nazi regime?
Operation Paperclip.
Yeah, I mean, how long did that take to come out?
Um, I want to say like early 2000s is when we found
Yeah,
out, but I'd
like
have to look
50
that up.
years later.
Right. Yeah, like way later. So it's like we're gonna find out some shit about this way later. Maybe they may just go away with like, oh, Freedom of Information Act. That's not a thing anymore. We, the great United States of America, got rid of that.
Yeah, I mean, it could also just come to light that like there's probably a bunch of stuff that even if you file a Freedom of Information Act that you just still don't get. You get the redacted files. That's nothing
Yep.
but white paper with black ink on it, and you can't read a damn word except the date.
Did you see they're talking about those labs, right? They're talking about chemical bio labs for weapons of mass destruction
Yeah.
to hurt Russians and all this stuff, right? So like if Russia wins, like these things are just going to be taken in as fact over on that side of the world. Like they did have these. Russia loses. these things didn't even exist. Like they didn't show up on maps of biolabs throughout the world. Probably because they were just like livestock related, is what the U.S. is saying. But what if they weren't? We'll never know. The government lies to all of us. We're like mushrooms. Keep us in the dark. Feed us shit.
Yeah.
In other news, but still the same news, did you see that old Sleepy Joe and Winnie the Pooh had their meeting?
Yeah, I heard about that. What was the result?
Well, China said, if you're going to help out Ukraine, fuck you. We can do whatever we want with Russia, basically. Like, we can help out Russia if you're going to help out Ukraine. And right before the meeting, they sent a ton of ships through the Taiwanese Strait as a big FU right before the meeting. So,
Us or China?
yep.
Us or China?
Oh, no. China did that. Sorry. Trying to save face right now and just play it cool. Not stir anything up, but apparently nobody cares about that. So they're gonna push as hard as they can. It seems like, right, guys? Like, how long can we sit back and fucking watch them? How many hospitals have we seen bombed? Theaters, children. I've seen so many kids dead on like fucking news stories and shit, man. Had that 19-month-old baby died from shrapnel in the head from an explosion. Like, this shit, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, when it comes,
I'm muted.
but I also like to
Can you start
take a
that
step
over?
back. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. I don't know what's going on. Sorry, guys. So, when it comes to the citizens of a country that's under attack, I always feel bad for the citizens, but I also take a step back. I look at the propaganda. I look at everything that's been fed to us, the Ghost of Kiev, the ships, that island, the Snake Island, um, all the stuff that's come out that's been bunk that we've been fed, and um, I just think it's just awfully odd that the Ukrainian citizens are saying like our country's so corrupt. Our country's it's by far the most corrupt country in Europe. That's a fact. And the citizens are now saying like, yeah, go our country. It's like, what the fuck is going on? That's what I'm confused about. So I always like we're living through history. This may be a speck in history. This may turn into a big fucking, World War III type situation in history. But either way, we're living through history, and history has been known to, um, or hindsight, history. What we just talked about, like we don't really know. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
refrain from any kind of. Yes, I do feel bad for the citizens. I'm not saying I don't. I'm just saying like there's more than meets the eye with everything.
I get what you're saying whenever you're talking about mm, we could be getting fed like Ukrainian false information, right? Like, Ukrainians are like, look how bad they're hurting our citizens, so that like NATO joins in, right? NATO gets involved because we can't have 300,000 kids die. We can't have a million people be executed in mass graves. So it's a possibility, but at the same time, like, come on. Are you going to shoot yourself in the foot to save your leg? Like, I
Well, at
don't
the
know.
same time, why are you still there? Leave. You know what's going on. Why do we have to watch it? Get the fuck out of there. Make it militarized by the Ukraine government, or do something. I know they are trying, but like the fact that we still see women and children dying and everything, and like these badass farmers taking charge and shit. Like, okay, right on, but it just doesn't make sense. Why are you still there? Move. Migrate.
Evacuate.
It's a fucking war-torn country now. Wake the fuck up. I'm not gonna give you. I'm not gonna give you fucking sympathy. I watch videos of like these Ukrainian kids going to school in Poland now and everything like that. They're migrating to other countries, and I'm like, fuck yeah, these people are leaving. They're getting out. They're finding safe haven. They're smart, but like, I'm not gonna sit here and watch propaganda take place, and because you got to look at who's spreading it. When the news stations are spreading it, it's kind of they've been caught sending old footage saying, "Oh, this is Ukraine now." It's like this footage was taken back in 2009. What are you talking about? Quit lying.
Right.
So that's where I take a step back and I get a little confused, I guess. I don't know. I don't let my emotions get the best of me anymore because we've been lied to too many times. Basically what I'm saying.
Right, you kind of just approach the information that you're given with an eye for, falsities and misdirection.
Skepticism.
Right? Skepticism.
Yes.
Skeptic. That's because you use that soap.
Yes. And that brings us to today's sponsor, Skeptic Soap. Coming soon. No, but that's
How soon? Do I need to get another bar of either soap?
I think next month. I'm just going through a little bit of a financial balancing, and then next month it should be squared away. So
What
I
are
know I've
some
been waiting.
Great scents that we could have on our bodies coming soon. Can you give us a little taste?
I'll give you a little taste. You can get some pine needles, some cinnamon, some cedar wood, to name
Cool.
3. So it'll be coming soon. I gotta get it. Right now, it's mainly, oddly enough, and ironically enough, it's just government admin bullshit I got to deal with taxes and stuff. So once I get that squared away, we'll be flying, going.
Nice.
Nice. Fuck, I was gonna ask. I had a question. I had it. It was there.
You got it, Jed.
Blue, orange. So
Let me help you.
question.
We were talking about history, and I'm not using my emotions anymore. I'm not letting my emotions get the best of me because of the news.
Getting
And
through the veil.
skeptic.
No, dude, it was totally about the soap.
It was totally about the soap.
Dirt. Dirty.
Oh, I thought of it. Are you gonna whip up a fucking ad, like a video ad?
That's also
We'll play it
why I'm
on.
waiting. That
What?
shit's expensive. That's also why I'm waiting. That shit's expensive as fuck. I'm looking at
What do you mean? It just takes time.
Oh, you're gonna do your own?
not
or you-
really. You gotta get it. You gotta make it properly. Which
Yeah.
I don't do things half-ass. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it like better than Squatch. I'm just gonna say it. Fuck you, Squatch. You're my fucking competition. You're going down. Anyways, you got to do it like properly, and I'm looking at quadruple digit numbers as far as the creation and promotion of those ads. So when I get that ready, that will be going.
Oh, I was thinking
Also-
you just throw like a little
also,
one together on your computer.
Well, I tried. It's hard. And also, I should do a shout out. If any of you guys are digital artists, can make ads, animations, know anybody who could, hook me up. If you guys have decent prices, I'm willing to pay a decent price. You heard what I'm looking at already, numbers wise. So let me know.
Cool.
All right,
You just email us
Um,
at Gentleman's Bureau.
that too.
Yeah. Well,
Email us there, or you can just directly email my business at skepticsoap@gmail.com.
Nice.
For a second there, I thought you were going to give away your personal email. I was like, you shouldn't do that.
That would be great.
But yeah, business email.
You mean Lane? No, no, just kidding.
Anyway, on that note, guys, I think we'll call it there. Thank you all for joining us for another episode of the Gentleman's Bureau. As always, it was a pleasure to have you with us. Join us next time where we talk about the outcome of war.
Maybe
Right.
you think crazy shit going down? Like it's gonna be over? Like you think the war's gonna be like that?
Oh my god.
No. I'm talking like
You're
it's
gonna
just going to
see.
be that long until we can record again because it's about to pop off.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
my
Yeah,
god, yeah.
makes sense.
Well, look how
Stay
many
safe, guys.
how many people are heading over to Eastern Europe, right? Oof.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about that next time
Yeah, for sure.
Alrighty.
For sure.
in a bunker. Bye.
Bye.